Today, as always, to give you guys some updates on just the overseas basketball life. And we got a doozy today. Hear what I'm saying? We got a doozy today. It is going to be very insightful, hopefully a learning lesson that guys can learn from this and understand like it ain't sweet. It is sweet, but it ain't sweet overseas. So you got to really understand what you're getting yourself into. And when you are over here, how to be mindful of yourself. I ain't even gonna get into too much of the formalities. I'm gonna get straight into it. If it's your first time tuning in with me, my name is Arnold Lewis. I help athletes prepare mentally for a life of overseas basketball. And on today's topic, we're gonna be talking about this basketball player who just got arrested in Indonesia. He just got arrested in Indonesia and possibly could be facing the death penalty. Now that's OD. That's OD. You're facing the death penalty, the death penalty. That's a bit extreme. That's a bit extreme, but it is what it is. Because see, this is the thing. Most guys believe just because they go out into another country, there's a stigma that they believe that they don't have to pay attention to the rules of other countries because it's not their country. And I will say, a lot of imports, Americans especially, have this blatant disregard of reality. Just a blatant disregard of reality. They believe just because I come from America, the rules don't apply to me. I get the upper hand in things and I get to do whatever I feel like I want to do because I'm the big dog. I'm from America and your stupid little rules or whatever, they don't matter to me. And in this case, as you can see, that is further from the truth. Because there's nothing more than a different country. There's nothing more that other countries love to do than make an example out of Americans. If any chance they got to make an example out of Americans, they will do it. And they will do it strict, like hard. They're gonna go extra hard on Americans. Any mishap, any things that you've done, like that can be looked over, they're going to throw the book, the house, the building. How they say they're gonna throw you underneath the jail. They want to make an example. They always want to make an example out of people. And more, I find it more when it comes to government systems, when it comes to laws and the strictness of the laws. The people who have the strictest laws, who want to get over the most, always seem to be people more so on Asia's side. Not so much on the South American side. I've been in Colombia, I've been Ecuador, I've been Argentina, I've been in a lot of countries on the Latin side. Not to, there, you're gonna get away. You can get by with certain things. You can get some leniency with certain things. In Asia, they ain't playing no games. They are not playing any games. They do not care. They want to make an example of you. They want to see. Listen, before we get into this article from CNN, matter of fact, from CNN, before we get into the article, I'm going to just tell a little story of just how thirsty they be to just book one of us and get us jammed up all the time. Let me a quick little backstory. So when I was in Thailand, right? When I was in Thailand, I was catching a taxi to go to Khao San Road. If you ever been to Thailand, you know where Khao San Road. That's where all the tourists go. That's where everybody go and turn up at night. That's the biggest, like one of the biggest tourist spots in Bangkok, Thailand. As we're driving, we get pulled over by a pit stop of police. They have these checkpoints where they have cops waiting, whoever's going by. They will stop, they would look in the car, look to see who's in the car, and decide whether or not if they want to pull them. Now, this is before weed was legalized there. So primarily they're looking for people with weed. Now, what do you think they're going to see when they look inside of a taxi and they see a black dude with dreads? Sorry, brother, but you fit the description. You know what? Because your kind loves to puff on the puffy puff. So you know what? I'm going to search you. I'm going to search you. So they took us out. They took us out the taxi. They started patting us down, going through our stuff. Now, I already knew before I got there that they don't play about no type of weed, THC, or any of these type of things. And it was like my second day there, so I really wasn't on nothing. We just went out. I just got done getting my hair done on the road. And we were done. We were just parlaying a little bit, and we were headed back to the crib. Nothing. Chill night. However, just because we were of the particular category, black, tall, basketball player, long hair, dreads, you fit the description that we normally catch with your type of people. Just keeping it a buck. Your type of people fit the descriptions. So you know what? As they're pulling us over, they couldn't find anything. You could see them talking amongst themselves saying, hey, where's your passport? I said, why would I have my passport when I'm just coming from being out? I'm in a taxi going home. Why do I need my passport? That is not a law here. Now, I know a little bit. And I just had my Visa entry card. I kept that with me. And I was like, you don't need my passport because there is no reason. Oh, we need to identify you. What do you need to identify me for? What is the purpose of you identifying me when all I'm doing is trying to go home? Now, I was with my cousin. He started nutting up. Keep it a buck. He started nutting up like, nah, bro, don't talk to him like that. I was like, nah, if you're not doing nothing wrong and they have no reason to bother you, bother you. If they have no reason to bother you, they're not going to bother you. You just can't punk out. You just can't just back off and just don't let them. And that you just can't let them do whatever they want to do to you. And that was the case because I know we didn't do anything. I'm like, bro, we're just literally trying to get home. You're impeding us from getting home. You're talking about what is my ID? I have my wallet on me. I have my driver's license. I'm like, first of all, you don't need this. So what are you looking for? And you could just see like the sketchiness, and they're over there talking and trying to explain and do this and do that. And I'm like, nah, bro, what's good? We need to go. Oh, just pay the taxi and go home. I'm like, I'm trying to go home. You check me, you search the car, you search everything. You're just keeping us here because you want a reason. Oh, let's go down to the station so we can talk. Go down to the station so we can talk? Are you out of your mind? Let's go down to the station so we can talk. Once you get to that station, it's a wrap for you. There ain't no coming back unless you paying and you going to jail and you in handcuffs. That's just a little quick backstory of just the type of treatment you will get for just being over there. So what does that say? What does that say to the average hooper? Or I'm just speaking of hoopers in this aspect because you're going to be targeted. So what does that say about how you should conduct yourself on taking risk or on how they're going to treat you? Maybe you just got to be a little bit mindful of certain things because they're going to come after you. You're targeted. That's what's one thing you have to understand. As a black basketball player in other countries, you are targeted. And if you think it's a game, go over there and try it. And then you will see, as in this current story, which we will get to. I just had to get that rant off my chest first because it pisses me off just to see things like now. In this situation, Buddy was tripping. However, just to try to go and live your life and just do you and just to be targeted for no reason at all. It's just something you just got, it's just, it is what it is. It's just, it is what it is. It ain't nothing more you can say about it. It's just, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is. All right, so in this article from CNN, American basketball player arrested in Indonesia for alleged drug smuggling could face death penalty. Jared Shaw played basketball for Utah State. Dang. This part right here, could face death penalty? Think about that for a second. You could face death penalty. Let me get into the article. An American basketball player for Indonesian league was arrested for allegedly attempting to smuggle illegal drugs to the country. Police said Thursday. The Southeast Asian country has extremely strict drug laws, and convicted smugglers are sometimes executed by firing squad. Wow. So if you're, I don't even, the last time I seen something, or the only time I've ever seen something talking about firing squad is when you watch one of like those older movies or something, where they line you up against the wall. See, we think these things are just fake. We think these things don't exist. We think these things are just something that you see in a movie until you actually find yourself in this situation, and you're the one literally could face a fire. I pray that somehow this situation gets figured out, because I can't even imagine what your family and people could be thinking about. You come over here to play basketball and you're telling me that I might get off by a firing squad? Firing squad? I didn't even know they still existed. I didn't even know that type of punishment, or if you call that a punishment, the execution still existed. You didn't even know people still do stuff like that. When you go over these other countries, they do stuff like that. Jared Dwayne Shaw, 34 years of age, from Dallas, Texas, was arrested May 7th after the police raided his apartment in Tangerang Regency, just outside the capital of Jakarta, and seized 132 pieces of cannabis candies, said Ronald Spiongo, I can't even say that name, the Soekarno-Hatta Airport Police Chief. So this is what confused me. The police raided his apartment. The arrest followed a tip from an airport's customs that reported Shaw received a suspicious airway package from Thailand. Cannabis has been decriminalized in Thailand. Remember I told you about Thailand? And did I just tell you about Thailand? Now Thailand's all free and go. Now they got dispensaries you can get. Now Thailand is a place to go for. The reason they were so strict and try to bam you up in Thailand is because it's a money grab. If we can catch you with it, we can hold you, charge you, and get money out of you. But now I guess they believe we could make more money and add to the tourist attraction if we just sell it. I don't know what happened. I don't know what made them change their laws. But now Thailand is a spot where people go to get a lot of, it's just a vacay spot. And now it's legal. Weed there is illegal now. So I guess he was traveling, went to go parlay in Thailand for a little bit, knew somebody, got some mailed over. Now, that's probably what tipped them off. They know, one, this is his package coming from Thailand. One, you're American. Two, why are you getting packages sent from Thailand? Looking like you, I know the type of things that these type of players like. They like to smoke and get on the weed. They like to get on the weed. So if you're coming from Thailand, you probably got some drugs up in here that I could probably, that's probably what it is. So They gave him a tip. They tipped him off. And what you know? Bro got arrested. Tipped him off. Bro got arrested. Seized 132 pieces of cannabis candies. That means he had straight gummies. Straight gummies. The rest followed a tip that reporter Shah received a suspicious airway package from Thailand. Cannabis has been decriminalized in Thailand since November 2024. Recently. It hasn't even been a whole year since it's been decriminalized in Thailand. We're in 2025. It ain't November 2025, so it hasn't even been a full year. Under Indonesia's anti-drug law, Shah faces up to life sentence or death penalty if found guilty. A video circulating social media reportedly shows Shaw wearing a black t-shirt and shorts, resisting as he's being pushed away by police and shouting, "Help, help," when he was about to be arrested. You dang right he yelling, "Help! Help! Help me!" They got me. They got me to laugh. I don't mean to laugh, but I'm screaming help too. I'm screaming help too. Because I mean, bruh. Now, I did see a video on IG. My boy sent it. My boy knew about it before it happened. And he sent me a video. I don't know. Y'all can go look up the video on IG for yourself. But the video, I'm going to try to explain the video real quick. So the video shows he's kind of walking into, is he in his locker? It's like he's in the lobby. And he's just like pushing this guy out the way, yelling help. And the dude's trying to like block him off. And like, all right, so they have him in a press conference. They're showing some of his highlights, giving a little background, showing that he played in the Indonesian league and stuff like that. They're going over where near Tenggara in Jakarta. Now, this is the wild part. They got him in a press conference. At the press conference, they got the officers lined up talking, and he has his back faced to the crowd. His back is faced to the crowd. He's standing here with his back faced to the crowd, and they're sitting there and they're all talking and just going over the situation of what's going on. That's pretty much the video, but he wasn't trying to go. And I don't blame him. I do not blame him. Let's get back to the article. Shaw has played in several clubs in Indonesia since 2022 and signed a contract with Tangerang Hawks last year. He told police during the interrogation that he wanted to share the cannabis candies with his fellow basketball players, according to Sipin Young. Now, I made a quick video on this topic before this video. What teammates? Let me tell you something. You get bammed up, you better not throw my name on there. And this is going to cause some issues around the league. You know why? Prime example. Got another little quick story for you. I had a homeboy who played in South Korea back in the day. Now, if you know, is it South Korea? Yeah, South Korea back in the day. South Korea got that chicken. South Korea is the one where it's free and everybody's good. I think it's North Korea is where that, what's his name, Kim Jong-un or whatever? I don't know. But South Korea handed out that bag. You heard me? I'm talking about 30, 40 a month. Korea hands out that bag. You go into Korea, you know you're getting that real money. You're making that real paper. But it comes at a price. Comes with a price. He was playing. Somebody else on the team, not on his team, on a whole other team, got booked kind of the same way. Got caught with some weed. Korea, Asian country, very hostile towards weed. Now, it's not like, you got to understand, Latin America, South America, they don't care. They don't care. I can honestly say they don't care. And it's legalized in Uruguay. It's legalized pretty much all through the states. Other countries have more lenient. I know in Chile you can have up to 5 Gs or 5 plants in your house. It's just a whole different mindset when it comes to THC. It's just a whole different way they look at it. And because the guy got bammed up, he threw his name in the mix. Oh yeah, he was blowing it down too. Now mind you, he's not even on the same team as bro. They're not even close to each other. They're just Americans in the league that just know of each other. Went and said, oh yeah, he be doing it too. So he ended up getting, I think they like kicked out the country and banned from ever coming back. Thank God that's all that happened. Got banned from the league. Now, I don't know about you, but if I have a job where they're paying me 30, 40,000 a month and I'm getting paid that 2 years and I'm consistently being able to come back to this country and somebody else over there running their mouth and get me jammed up, oh, you're gonna have to see me, bro. You're gonna have to see me. Why you putting me into it? You talking about I gotta go, you talking about I'm gonna go share with my teammate. You ain't sharing it with me. You ain't sharing it with me. So don't put me along with you. Don't put me along with you. Because I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. But guys, they nut up. They nut up. They get scared and they try to, maybe if I say some other people and all that, they might take my sentence down. They might, be more lenient on me. And I don't have, it be like that. It does be like that. Now, they might start drug testing all the imports in the league. And you might have been over there. Some guys be sneaky with it. They do their own thing. They don't bring a lot of attention to it. And because this one case is not going to bring light to everybody. Now everybody in the league might get drug tested. And you could get drug tested. You don't just get there. You could have been there, you feel me? If you got it in your system because you coming from a country where it's legal and then they bring you over here and you get drug tested, it's a wrap for you. It's a wrap for you because of what somebody else did, because of what somebody else's stupidity, because of what somebody else was not thinking. You couldn't chill, bro. And I know how hard it be for guys to just be like, it's a lot more to be said about just weed in general. People say, oh, it's not addicting. Like hell it ain't. Because what would make you put your entire risk of your life, literally your life, when you're over there, if you've been playing since 2022 in Indonesia, that means guaranteed you're making at least 20 plus. So you're making over 6 figures a season, easy. Indonesia throws out that bag. I know I had a homeboy, when he was playing over there, he was getting 17 a month. And he only played 1 season. Now imagine you've been there for 2 years. Oh, after that second year, your bag increases. Big time. So now all that's messed up. All of that. Because of one person's mistake. Just chill. You probably feel like I've been doing it. You gotta think about it. If I've been here for 2 years, I've been doing it for the last couple of years. I'm good. I know the system. I know how it moves. I did this before. I know how to maneuver around. So I'm good. All I got to do is put it right here, have Buddy ship it to. But why? What is it? Don't get me. Why would you get it shipped to your crib? Why would you get it? Even in the States, they don't never, if you got a package, I don't know, I'm paraphrasing. But normally, don't you get it shipped to somebody else's crib? And then somebody comes and pick it up? You never put your own address? You got it shipped directly to your apartment? Bro, that don't make no kind of sense. That don't make no kind of sense, bro. You asking for it. You gonna get it shipped to your name, to your apartment. Ain't nobody gonna mistake that for nothing, bro. He said the candy contained a total gross weight of 869 grams, 30 ounces of illegal cannabis inside a package. We're still running an investigation to uncover the international drugs network behind the case and stop the distribution. See, like that's what I'm talking about. Now he running a drug case, Lord. Like now he's Pablo Escobar, and he's just got this whole drug gang going on, and we got to stop the war on drugs, and we got to bring down all. There's just a dude out here hoping, getting to some money, and be on the pack and be chilling. I got a couple of gummies I'm finna be smacking on just to chill on my off time. I ain't out here peddling, being Pablo Escobar, being big man with the. Come on, bro. Like the way they spin the stories to create their own narrative, and that's what they do. That's what they will do. They gotta spin their own narrative to make the story good, to make the reason good. Oh, he was trying. Like, come on, bro. Stop it. Stop it. Shaw didn't make any statement when he was presented by the authorities at the news conference Wednesday wearing a detainee orange t-shirt and a mask with his hands tied. Tangerine Hawks manager, I cannot say this dude's name, Tiki Sawatanico, told reporters on Thursday that they regretted what had been done by Shaw, and the club had immediately fired him as he has breached the contract. Yep, you out of there. You done with that league. You might be done in Asia. Lord willing, you get up out of this and get back to the crib. I pray you get back to the crib, bro. For real. The Indonesian Basketball League banned. Before I could even get the words, before I could even get the words out of my mouth, they said the Indonesia Basketball League banned Shaw from playing for life. Said the chair, Burastrio de Jawandano. I am butchering these names. We don't tolerate players, administrators, or anyone in the field involved in drugs. There is no room for drug users in the basketball world. Which is actually crazy because the NBA has actually lifted the the marijuana stuff. So in Indonesia, there's no room for it. But in the biggest league in the entire world, they accept it. And that's what I'm trying to say. Most of these leagues, most of these countries, they just want to prove a point. You telling me none of y'all locals out here ain't burning it down, doing all this? Yes. You telling me something that is from the earth? It's not heroin. It's not crack. It's not this like, I don't know, meth. I don't know. You talking about something that comes from the earth. I'm not going to. The United Nations of Drug and Crime says Indonesia is a major drug smuggling hub, despite having the strictest drug laws in the world, in part because international drug syndicates targets its young population. About 530 people are on death row in Indonesia, mostly for drug-related crimes, including 96 foreigners. Dang! The Ministry of Immigration and Corrections data show Indonesia's last executions of an Indonesian and 3 foreigners were carried out in July 2016. That's wicked. They murking people over there, bro. They murking people over there. 2016, that's less than 10 years ago. That's less than 10 years ago they just killed other foreigners. That's recent. Wow. Wow. That's wicked. That's wicked. Bro, that's wicked. Now, the question is, do you believe that they are more so looking to get him just because of the color of his skin, his nationality? Trump! We need you. We need Trump to come and make an emergency release help like he did for Jello Ball when he stole something in China. We need you to come to his aid. We need you on this one. But it's got to be a lesson for guys to understand, because you look at Brittany Griner. She got bammed up because of the situation for having one weed pen. Was in jail for over a year over one weed pen. It just shows you what they do. And if you remember in that case, she ended up getting let go for a convicted criminal. How does that match up? How does that match up? We exchange a convicted criminal for someone with a weed pen. It'd be so much going into the politics and what they really be doing and scheming behind the whole scenario. It just makes you be like, you're not in a winning situation when you put yourself in these type of situations. Now, I do know a lot of imports who do blow it down overseas, but go to where it's not. If you're gonna do that, at least go to it. But you know what? There ain't nobody passing up that $20,000, $30,000 a month. I'ma just chill over here on the low. I'm just keeping it real, bro. I'm just keeping it real. I know 100,000. I know guys who make 30, 40,000, and they're gonna still blow it down. You know guys that make millions and they still gonna blow it down. Just go where it's legal. Just go where you can. Just go where they're not trying to. They will put you on a firing squad if you get caught. Worst thing worse, you get kicked out the league and you just can't play there no more or something. But to this extreme, what you got to really weigh out your options. Now your family is devastated. You're devastated. You're it's just wild because you're just stuck over here in these wild situations and you just trying to hoop and all this stuff happening. And you're just wondering man, what do I do next? God, please, boy. I ain't gonna lie, we're gonna say a prayer for bro because we do not want to see nothing like that happen. It's too many times you hear stories of players and athletes and all just getting in these just crazy messed up situations. And I guess if people aren't talking about it, you wouldn't even really know. Because I know there's a lot that goes on here in America to other foreigners, when they had those foreign camps and whatever they were doing to them in those camps, right after that. Right after 9/11, any Muslim you're done. You talk about, I felt like that was the first time in America where black people was not the number one targeted people. And that's a fact. And I'm talking about, if your skin was a little brown and you had your name, it went by your name. You know how I know? Because my best friend's name is Rashad Hassan. His name's Rashad Hassan, he's Muslim. Just because his name, every single time we went through the airport, he got flagged, searched, and they had to talk to him. Strictly off your name. That's the first time ever black people was not targeted as much as any other demographic. Muslims and I don't even know what's the demographic you would call them, but I just say Muslims. They were being targeted crazy after 9/11. Crazy. Do you believe they're going too far? Has Indonesia gone too far for just this type of crime? You really can't say no. You live by the rules that are set before you. You don't get to choose the rules once you go to these other countries. You have to learn to adjust, adapt, and move with how they move. You don't get that decision. You don't change. You don't get to make the decisions. You don't get to make the rules as you go and say, well, I'm going to do this and I'll be all right, until you're not. You're all right until you're not. You get away with it enough until you don't. It works until it don't. So That's the story. That's what it is. I hope this information you learn just before you even go out there, what you're getting yourself into. Learn what not to do. Like, and I mean, that's all I got for this one right here, man. That's just a tough situation to be in for any player. Like, your life is on the line. You're just out here playing basketball. I mean, I do this every single day. I could never even imagine to think that I'm gonna go get caught for some gummies and then now I'm about to get executed. That's the last thing you're thinking. We're the same age. He's 34, I'm 35. So you've been doing this for a minute. If you're 34, that means you got in there when you was 32. That means you're on the other side of you're on the later side of your career. You finally got the gigs that you've been looking for, or you're finally getting those gigs where you're getting paid good money and you're just trying to live and chill and you're just trying to stack that paper and do your thing. And then this, man, be mindful. Be mindful of the situations that you put yourself into. Because there's one thing I do know. There's one thing I do know, and I do understand that, you know what? You are held with responsibility for every action that you take. No matter what, you are held responsible for every action that you take. Good, bad, or indifferent. You are held responsible for every action. You have no one left to blame. You have no one that can live this sentence out for you. You have no one that can get you out of this situation as far as you got yourself into this situation. You have to take accountability for the actions. You're living with them. You have no choice. So as an athlete, as a player, as a brother, as a father, as just an individual, just understand that every move and everything that you do, you have to be accountable for those actions and you have to accept it. Is the penalty harsh? Extremely. Is it justified? Hell no. Is it right? Hell no. Does it matter? Hell no. But at the end of the day, you have to learn that whatever it is that you do, you're going to have to own up to it. And you got to be able to face the consequences of every action that you take. That's just in life in general. No matter what is going on, no matter what the situation is, in any aspect in life, you have to live with the decisions that you decide and what you make, because only you get to live with the results that come from it. Listen, that's all I got for this segment. Just giving y'all a quick update. Y'all can go look up the story yourself. You see they posted an article on CNN. I know they got some videos on Instagram. Tune in. I try to keep you guys updated when I see these type of stories and stuff like that, to just give you guys my perspective and what I believe and how you can avoid, or whatever the situation is. I'm just giving you my 2 cents on this. So appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great day. Keep being great. Keep doing you. Love. Pray for this guy. Send him some good energy. We're going to send him good energy. Let him know that we are wanting him to get out of this situation, wanting him to get back to playing basketball, wanting him to be able to fight this and come through on the winning side. Because a lot of times we don't get the break. We always get the book thrown at us. They always want to castrate us the most and beat us down the most. So we are speaking against it. We are just sending good, positive energy that can help relieve this situation, and hopefully it all kind of works out in the end. That's all I got, man. I'm out. Till next time.